And about 3 days later, I saw one.
Good afternoon. I call to order the Knox County Optional Review Meeting for Monday, September 15th. Madam Clerk, if you'll call the roll, please.
Commissioner Ross.
Present.
Commissioner Derrick.
Here.
Commissioner Oster.
Here.
Commissioner Jackson. Commissioner Russell.
Here.
Commissioner Hill. Here. Commissioner Lee.
Here.
Commissioner Thompson. Commissioner Fox. Commissioner Jay. Commissioner Frazier.
Present.
8 members present.
Thank you. As a reminder, this is not a voting meeting, it's discussion only. What we will do is we will start with our interviews for the library board, for BZA, and for the Sheriff's Merit Council. And then we can go through what the agenda, if anybody has anything for next week, but I hate to make everybody wait. So the first person we have is Miss Julie Thompson. Ms. Thompson, if you'll come to the microphone and hit the little people button, and then we'll be able to hear you, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're interested in the library board, and we'll go from there.
All right, I'm Julie Thompson. I am recently retired from Knox County Schools after serving 30 years as an educator and principal, and actually went back to school to be a librarian, but along the way, things didn't quite work out that. It worked out better, but I've always been very interested in reading. I'm an avid reader, member of the library. I've worked with Mary Palm Claiborne on a couple projects with the Knox County Schools, and so I'm not terribly familiar with what the library board does, but I'm willing to serve. So,
Thank you, and we certainly appreciate your willingness to serve. Commissioners, do you have any questions for Ms. Thompson?
I do, Madam Chair.
Commissioner Fox?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Do you have any position on the types of materials that should be available to minors, particularly minors younger than middle school age?
well, I don't have a particular position. I feel like our public libraries should be available to house and offer all sorts of different opinions and ideas and materials for our public to check out, and it would be up to parents that would use that public library to help their children distinguish what they should or should not check out. That's up to them.
What about sexually explicit materials? Do you think those should be available to minors?
Again, I think it's a public library, and we want to have that. That would be something that parents should be able to monitor.
Do you think? I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean. Do you think that the county or local governing bodies should be able to impose community standards of what might be acceptable to minors in such a way that it might override parents' decisions?
That's a great question. I've not encountered anything like that. I would certainly read and do what I needed to do in my background to help make that decision, but
Do you think that local governing bodies ought to take any role whatsoever in establishing what the community standards are with respect to pornography or explicit sexual material?
I personally would not think that would be appropriate, but I'm not, again, I've not served in the public library system, so I'm not exactly sure what their practices and standards are.
Okay, well, then let me clarify, because I don't want you to accidentally say something that didn't make sense. So are you saying you don't think it's appropriate that local governing bodies should establish what the community standards are, or you don't think that it's appropriate for minors to have access to materials that may be outside of what the community standards are with respect to materials that shouldn't be available to children.
Well, I'm not sure if this answers your question or not, but I don't believe children should have access to pornographic materials.
Okay. And do you think then that local governing bodies ought to be the ones to establish where that threshold is? To establish the community standards?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Hill?
Thank you. Hi, Julie. Just to get it on the table so no one is short-sighted, would you care to disclose your relationship with one of our commissioners?
Yes, I am Adam Thompson's mother.
Thank you. And I'm so glad that you applied, and I have no problem vouching for her. I've known her through the years with Knox County Schools and know that she'd be a wonderful asset.
Thank you. Do we have any other questions? Commissioner Thompson? Battery in? Yeah. Okay. Here you go.
There we go. Okay.
There you go.
Apologize for being late. But anyway, no, so with the library board, obviously this position has been open for a while. It'd been advertised for 3 months. And so without having a candidate, sorry, I ran over here. So I reached out to my mother, who had been the executive director of elementary education in Knox County. I said, surely she knows somebody. And so I just opened up the question. I asked her, do you know of anybody that would be willing to serve on this board? It's been open for 2 months, been advertised. I can't find anybody. And her initial response was, well, I'd like to serve. Being retired and having the time to do so, I said, well, let me check and make sure that's okay. So my first call was to Director Moyers to clarify, is that okay? Is that above board? Because I don't, I having, the last couple of months talked about ethics and accountability and oversight. I didn't want to do anything that gave the appearance of not being kosher. So after discussing with him, obviously there's no authority. The mayor's office has basically delegated the authority of that board to the administration in the library system. So there's no money involved. They're advisory only to the mayor's office. We really don't have any oversight of the library board as far as controlling what they do. It's advisory only. So at that point, there didn't appear to be any conflict of interest or nepotism. So I will leave it to this body to decide. But she was enthusiastic about the opportunity to serve on the library board. So thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Russell?
I just want to say you do not look old enough to be his mother.
Oh, well, thank you.
All right, seeing no other questions, we will have the vote next Monday at 5, Ms. Thompson. And again, we really appreciate you being willing to serve. Thank you. All right, we will go to Board of Zoning Appeals. Drew, I'm right about Mr. Rapace is not going to be here. Is that correct? John Elliott, I'm sorry. Okay. I heard that wrong. So we'll start with Mr. Jonathan Rapace.
If I may,
Yes.
just to speak to Mr. Elliott, he's my nominee, and he had to be out of town on business today. He has served for the last 2 years, and I wholeheartely recommend him.
Okay. Thank you. All right, we will come back to Mr. Rapace, Commissioner Durrett, do you know if,
I don't know if he's able to attend, but I can vouch for him. He has served as a previous term right before this, so this is him being reappointed if this commission so chooses to do so. But he has represented the district well and definitely done his homework between meetings. So I wholeheartedly recommend him for another term.
perfect, thank you. All right, so now we are down to Mr. Philip Graves. Oh, Ashley Williams. I apologize. I didn't have my glasses on. Mr. Williams, if you will give your name and county of residence, and then tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Ashley Williams. The address is 1700 Vander Ridge Lane, 37919. I am currently filling out Raleigh Leavengood's term for the 4th District. I was appointed by Shane Jackson, and previously Larson had appointed me to fill out the previous seat when that seat was vacated prematurely. For those that don't know me, I am a huge advocate of being active in the community, to the point that sometimes my wife wishes I wasn't. But now that our children are old enough and don't need us as much, I would love the opportunity to sit a full term if this board so chooses so.
Perfect, thank you. Commissioners, do you have any questions for Mr. Williams? Seeing none, we will have the vote on Monday at 5 o'clock in this room.
Enjoy your afternoon.
Thank you so much for being willing to serve. Now we'll go to Mr. Graves. Hello. There we go.
Thank you. Philip Graves, Knox County, 8th District. I'm a lifelong resident of the 8th District, grew up in the same land that my family's been on for the last 100 years. So deep ties in the community. I graduated from Gibbs High School and then the University of Tennessee with a degree in political science. If I'm not at work or at church, I'm working with my scouts. We're always doing something. Just got back from the Chickamauga battlefield late yesterday afternoon and have a meeting tonight. So that's actually kind of what drove me to this. To earn the rank of Eagle Scout, you have to earn 4 merit badges involving citizenship in the community, nation, world, and society. So we talk about it a lot from a theoretical standpoint, but I decided it was time to lead by example and get involved from a more practical avenue. So that's why I'm here tonight, to hopefully get involved in the planning and for Knox County for the next several years.
Great, that's awesome. Questions from commissioners for Mr. Graves? All right, seeing none, we'll be back. Oh, I thought somebody raised their hand. We'll be back here on Monday evening at 5 o'clock, and we appreciate your willingness to serve.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good meeting. And last on the BZA list is Mr. Tommy Lakins.
Good afternoon. I hope many of you know me already. I have always been very active in the 8th District in Enter County. I'm Tommy Lakins, 7322 Ridgeview Road, Coreyton, Tennessee. I'm a lifelong resident of Knox County, a graduate from Fulton High School and the University of Tennessee. I have been, as I said earlier, involved with our community for the last 67 years, and that's how long I've been alive. I have recently retired. Want to continue to support and help with our county as we move forward. My family in Jefferson County, Hamilton County have been developers many years in the past before my father passed away about 8 years ago. That has led me to always understand a lot of the interest in zoning and the appeals process. I have reviewed all the specifics about the committee. I do understand its function. I have been attending all of the BZA meetings for the last 3 or 4 months. I've tried to keep myself abreast of what's going on currently with some situations with zoning and variances that have been approved and disapproved. I would distinctly ask for your support I would ask that you allow me to have that opportunity to continue to serve in our county as I'd like to assist with.
Thank you. Do we have any questions for Mr. Lakins? All right, seeing none, same thing. We'll be back here Monday at 5, and we appreciate your willingness to serve.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we will now head into the Sheriff's Merit Council. The first person we have is J.B. Brennan. You are on and ready to go.
I'm ready to go. Good afternoon, esteemed commission. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to talk about myself today and my qualifications for the Knox County Merit Board. I am a 30-year law enforcement retired officer. I retired at the rank of lieutenant. In my 30-year career, I've had a varied career path, which was about 50% administrative, 50% operational. Operational side, the watch commander commanding the entire city, which that particular city was Riverside, California, very similar in size and population to the city of Knoxville. The other assignments that I've been involved in is internal affairs, full investigations, which included officer-involved shootings, criminal complaints that are crimes that our officers committed, and the grievance procedures. My other assignments have been as a chief adjutant. I've also have extensive training in the personnel and training side. I was in charge of all of the police officer standards and training qualifications and field training officer program to get the officers the best training they could before they went out into the field as a full-fledged officer. So there was a lot of oversight that I did. I was a policy writer, also a policy drafter for many of the policies for the police department to sort of modernize us to the new laws and statutes that were in this, not only in the city, but also in the state, the ordinances and the states. I do have a lot of volunteer activity. I am currently on the Membership Standards Committee for the Scouting America, and that is very similar to what the Merit Council would be, which is the standards by which they accept volunteers to stay in the program or not be in the program. Usually that involves maybe some criminal activity they did or they violated policies, and I'm on that board to decide their continued membership into the program. I'm also a current member of the Merit Board. I have a whopping 2 months experience on the Merit Board, and I haven't let any moss grow under my feet. During that time, I have familiarized myself with all of the county ordinances as it relates to the Merit Council, the actual policies and procedures, and I have met with the director or the Merit Board to kind of give an overview of the different things that are done and how they're done on the Merit Board. So I feel like I have a good understanding and would be ready and willing to step into a seat if you guys, if you give me the opportunity to do so.
Thank you. Do we have any questions for commissioners or from commissioners? Commissioner Durrett.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you again for turning your resume in and coming back for this appointment. My first question this is going to be for everybody, is why did you decide to apply for this position on the Merit System Board of Directors? And you have already answered that, so thank you for that. Number two, I know Commissioner Jay usually asks this question, will you be able to abide by all Merit System Board of Directors rules and regulations, including but not limited to not participating in any kind of political activities and that sort of thing?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. And number three, will you be able to be an impartial addition to the board? Meaning you can, like, the board is there to represent the employees of the sheriff's office. And so we want to make sure that we are very transparent and are there for the right reasons and not to promote any kind of agenda. So I just want to make sure you would be able to be an impartial addition.
Yes, yes, ma'am, and I recognize that it is a symbiotic relationship between the commission, the sheriff's department, and the merit board, and how everything is done. And I recognize completely the role of which the merit board is responsible for. And I have no hesitation at all in being able to fulfill those duties.
Thank you. And then my last question, do you have any family members or have you had any family members who were associated with the sheriff's office or Merit System Board of Directors?
Yes, not with the sheriff's office. I don't have any family members before or after with the sheriff's or the Knox Police Department. But I did have my spouse was a previous member of the Merit Board. I think he served 2 years, two or 3 years on the Merit Board.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any other questions? Seeing none, Ms. Brennan will be back here on Monday at 5 o'clock for the vote, and we appreciate your willingness to serve.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Mr. Michael Crichton.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I am Michael Crichton. I currently am the Vice Chair of the Board of Directors on the Merit Board. I am filling a vacancy on the board, and I am asking your consideration of putting me in for a full-time position or a full term. Since my time on the board, I have attended all the meetings, and I've sat on several promotional panels for the sheriff's employees. I'm a 30-year veteran of law enforcement in Southern California. I've held the ranks of officer, deputy, investigator, sergeant, and lieutenant. I have worked patrol, corrections, investigations, dispatch, and court services. I have the knowledge, experience, and the ability to continue performing the duties of a board member. In addition to my law enforcement experience, I hold a Bachelor of Science degree in education. Following my retirement, I was a teacher for 2nd through 7th graders in California and Wyoming. I have worked on election boards in California and Wyoming. I have a history of service to the communities in which I have lived in positions of responsibility, and I would like to continue to do so here as well. I am asking you for consideration of a full term on the board.
Thank you, Mr. Crichton. Commissioners? Commissioner Rawls?
Yeah, I'm going to ask this to everybody that comes up. Commissioner Durrett already asked my question, but obviously the bulk of you have significant resumes, impressive resumes. So the question is, Phyllis, what is your philosophical opinion of the Merit Board and why?
I believe the Merit Board is there to ensure the fairness of dealing with the employees. I think over the years, law enforcement is a very difficult profession. We are not only hard on each other, well, we're as hard on each other as we are sometimes having to deal with members of the public. And I think people forget that they're dealing with human beings that not only are deputies, sergeants, lieutenants, but they're dealing with husbands, fathers, wives, church members, and there's a lot more to being an officer than just going in for a 10-hour shift every day. And I think that we need some consideration for the human side behind the badge.
Thank you. Commissioner Durrett?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Mr. Crichton, for being here. So I will ask the same questions I asked Mr. Brennan, Ms. Brennan. Will you abide by all Merit System Board of Directors rules and regulations, including but not limited to political participation? We are approaching a countywide election year, so just want to make sure, because that is part of our rules and regulations for the Merit Board, so want to make sure you're aware of those and plan to abide by all of them.
Yes, I am aware of them, and I will abide by them.
Thank you. Will you be an impartial addition to this board?
Yes,
And do you have any family members, or have you had any family members who work for the Sheriff's Office or associated with the Merit System Board of Directors?
no, I do not.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Crichton, next Monday, 5 o'clock in this room, and thank you for your willingness to serve for a full-time position.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next up is Daniel Herrera.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I always have to lower the microphone. I'm probably your shortest applicant today. So, my name is Daniel Herrera. I'm an attorney here in Knoxville. I live in Hardin Valley. That's District 6. There's my two commissioners right there. And my office is on North Broadway, right here off. So that's my other commissioner right there. So. First, I want to thank you all for allowing me to submit my application. As I said, I'm an attorney. I've been a practicing attorney since April 22nd, 2020, which is great because I got licensed and I said, the whole world is my oyster. And then a month later, the state shuts down on me. So, I started from the bottom. You can only go up from there. I have not just been a solo practitioner. I have partners. I've had several employees work for me. And I think that's a valuable resource that I can bring here is that the Merit Council, right, is, as one of the commissioners said earlier, represents the employees of the Knox County Sheriff's Office. And I think it's important to have somebody who has dealt with employees in the past because you understand what disciplinary measures you have, how far you can go with disciplinary actions, and also how you can serve that and how you can better serve the Sheriff's Office to make sure they implement policies that not just work for them, but for everybody, and of course, for our citizens. I'm excited. If I'm so blessed to get this appointment, I can't wait to start. I think I have a tremendous amount of value to bring as an attorney, as a citizen, as someone who lives in this, as someone who does criminal defense work. I deal with the Sheriff's Office frequently. I know those deputies, and to understand that, to say that they have a hard job, I think is an understatement. I do believe that I could bring a serious value here, and I feel like I can help the citizens of Knox County, the Sheriff's Office, and their employees.
Thank you. All right, Commissioners. Commissioner Lee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Mr. Herrera, for submitting your resume. I understand the sacrifice being an attorney in your practice. Can you speak to, I know you said you deal with officers, would you be able to, because this Merit Council is for the officers, not so much the sheriff. So how would that interfere with your practice in criminal defense?
No, and I think not only the philosophy of it, but the ethics of it, right? Whether or not I dealt with an officer during a criminal case is going to be very different from if they receive a disciplinary report or action. And I think it's important to stay impartial, but I will say it does help speaking to these deputies because you understand what their internal process is and how they work, right? So it won't interfere. I do think it complements it, but I think it's also important to understand that it's going to be separated, and it has to be separated because I believe that's what the Merit Council calls for.
Okay. Thank you, and thank you for submitting your resume.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you. Commissioner Rawls.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Back to the philosophical question.
I'm sorry?
The philosophical question.
Why?
Do you remember? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm running because I want to serve my community. I've been heavily involved in our community ever since pretty much I moved here. So I think this is another way to give back. I think I can bring a set of skills, a set of impartiality to this. As an attorney, I am an advocate. I'm counsel. I'm somebody who represents people. And I feel that this specific role is exactly what, as attorneys, what we do every single day.
Thank you. Commissioner Dribb?
Thank you. Same questions, Mr. Herrera. Will you abide by all merit system rules and regulations, including but not limited to political participation in any kind of election?
Yeah, and that's a very easy thing for me to say, and absolutely. I was the Republican Party chairman from 21 to 23, and I will never do that again, so.
Got it. Thank you. Will you be an impartial addition to the board?
Absolutely.
Thank you. And do you have any family members, or have you had any family members who have worked for the Sheriff's Office or Merit System Board of Directors?
I don't.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Thompson?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Commissioner Durrett actually stole the thunder of my question, but I think you answered it very well as far as being not involved politically in races and things like that. It's been a couple years, but I spoke to you a little bit, and but yeah, as far as political, so you have no more political aspirations at this point, or races or things like that?
No, and I'll tell you where a lot of that has changed. February 7th, 2025, my wife gave birth to our daughter. So I would much rather spend a lot of time at home. I'll let y'all duke it out. Y'all fight where you want to fight. You can keep me out of that, all right?
Gotcha.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Well, it's funny how priorities will change and shift when things like that happen. So.
That's right.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Perfect. All right, seeing no other questions, Mr. Herrera, 5 o'clock Monday, we will do the vote, and I appreciate you being willing to serve.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. All right, next is Steve McFall.
All right, my name is Steve McFall, and I spent more than 34 years as an FBI agent. The last part of my career from 1996 to present, I've lived here in Knoxville in West Knox County. And I spent time early in my career in the FBI laboratory in creating a new position or new unit in the FBI laboratory. Part of those responsibilities was creating brand new positions for the FBI, writing those position classification statements, interviewing and hiring people. So I've been down that process, and since being in Knoxville these last years, since 1996, I've been on probably 20 to 30 career boards where we've had to interview, rank, and select candidates for positions. So I feel like I have, an extensive background. I've worked in a number of different types of criminal activities, been involved with obviously task forces in the Sheriff's Department and the Knoxville Police Department and others throughout East Tennessee, and have a good understanding of the way all those departments function and work. And I believe I could bring some skills to this particular area.
Thank you. All right, commissioners. Commissioner Rawls?
I'll let Commissioner Durrett go before me, please.
Okay. Commissioner Durrett?
Am I asking your question?
You can.
Oh, well, I don't care. I will let you do it. Thank you, Mr. McFall, for applying for this position. As I've asked everyone else, I'll ask you the same questions. Will you abide by all Merit System Board of Directors rules and regulations, including but not limited to political participation in any kind of campaign?
I will abide by all those rules.
Perfect. My next one, will you be an impartial addition to the board of the
Yes,
Merit
I will.
System Board? Thank you. And do you have any family members, or have you had any family members who have worked for the Sheriff's Office or represented the Merit System Board of Directors?
No, I have not.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Rawls?
You touched on the philosophical piece, but as I read through your resume, there's something that really, it bothers me, just to be quite honest. Where were you educated at?
the University of Alabama, but I would like to say I'm actually currently teaching for the University of Tennessee.
It's the wrong University of Alabama.
And my oldest child went to the University of Tennessee, so I've given money. That may still not erase all of it.
That
but
does not erase any of what you just said. As an Auburn Tiger,
oh, goodness.
I am truly bothered. And I don't think you
understand.
make smart decisions.
I understand. Well, I mean, it may look up for you because we may be on the way down.
Thank you, Commissioner Rawls. Mr. McFall, thank you for applying, and we will see you back here Monday at 5.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much. Next is Christopher Smith. All right. And Sarah Steele.
Hello. I'm Sarah Emily Still. I go by Sarah Emily. I'll just say what is obvious here. I bring something a little different than everyone else. I'm just a smidge younger, if you can't tell, a little less gray, a little less wrinkly, perhaps. But as you can tell, that brings a little bit of a different perspective, and I think that would be needed on this merits board. I am a graduate of the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. I graduated with a degree in criminal justice. I got the award for the Outstanding Criminal Justice Student of the Year. I did a thesis on exoneration, so I've done a lot of study about incarceration and the effects it has on people, and I've seen all the different levels of the criminal justice system. I went to law school here at the University of Tennessee, and I graduated, and I'm currently an attorney here. I practice with Daniel Herrera. We have a law firm here. It's called Herrera Still. I practice a couple different types of law, but my favorite is criminal defense. So with that, I have a multitude of clients that come from different backgrounds, but they all experience similar things with the criminal justice system. That being the first interaction that they have with the criminal justice system is with officers, and that can make a huge difference. And one thing that I want to do here is help our officers to be ethical. I want to make sure that all the interactions that people have here are positive and they're above board. I don't want Knoxville to be remembered as a headline of some officer doing something and that reflects negatively on us. I love this city, I love this county, I don't want that to be us. I want people to be treated as human beings. I want everyone to be able to have faith in the criminal justice system, and that's from start to finish. It's not just in the courtrooms. That's the difference that I'm able to try to make an impact on as a lawyer, but it needs to start with the officers, and I'd love to be able to help with that here.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Lee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ms. Steele, thank you for putting your resume in, and you got my attention when you said you did criminal defense, because I practice in that. Are you familiar with the policies and procedures of the officers at the Sheriff's Department?
Somewhat, yes.
Okay. And you'll be willing to review those and come up to speed on those?
100%.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Durrett.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Ms. Still, for applying for this position. We talked to this briefly before our meeting started, but why merit? Why this position? We have a lot of committees and things. Why this one?
This one has impacted me directly. I've had friends and family and clients, obviously, that have interacted with the criminal justice system. I've seen how this affects them. I've seen how this affects their family. And officers are clearly a big part of that. So I want everyone to be able to have a better experience, at least not a super harmful experience with the criminal justice system. Mm-hmm. Everyone just needs to be ethical, and if I can be a part in that, I'd love to help with that.
Thank you. Will you abide by all merit system board of directors rules and regulations, including but not limited to any kind of political participation in campaigns?
I will.
Thank you. Number 3, will you be an impartial addition to the board?
I will.
And do you have any family members, or have you had any family members who have worked for the sheriff's office or associated with Merit System Board of Directors?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no other questions, Ms. Steele, thank you for applying, and we'll see you back here on Monday at 5.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I want to call Christopher Smith one more time. Okay. All right, so that concludes the interviews for the positions that we have. Commissioners, Commissioner Frazier.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to quickly say thank you to every applicant. Your willingness to serve and to show up and engage in local government process is greatly appreciated. When I started looking through these resumes and I saw the number of individuals who wanted to be a part of local government processes, I really got excited. I will tell you, this will be difficult. Oftentimes, we are not in a situation where we have so many qualified and desirable candidates, but we do. And I just want to thank you. I really just wanted to express my thanks to each and every one of you.
Thank you. All right, Commissioners, do we have any items that, for the meeting next month, any items that we want to discuss? Commissioner Frazier.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to quickly address agenda item number 24. Just for some clarification, Commissioners, you'll see that there's a resolution in addition to the ordinance regarding the Merit System Board, because the ordinance makes the change in the Knox County Code. However, the eligibility requirements of Merit System Board members are also set out in the Merit System Board's rules and regulations, which is adopted and amended by resolution of this commission. So therefore, we needed a separate resolution to amend the rules and regulations so that it is consistent with the ordinance and Knox County Code. So I just wanted to share that. And then I'll wait for Madam Chair to acknowledge me for one more comment.
Thank you. Commissioner Durant?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to make sure we're just open to the rest of the agenda. We're not going to, okay.
We are.
I want to call everyone's attention to 22 and 23. Those are the resolutions referencing any kind of utility permitting. Due to my employment with a telecommunications company, I will be recusing myself from that, and actually I won't be in attendance next week due to having to go out of town unexpectedly. And so just want to throw this out there that we Comcast and the utilities did not receive the language to these resolutions until this past Thursday, and are working on some, I can vouch for at least Comcast that we're working on some language suggestions and would prefer it be postponed 30 days.
Okay, thank you.
There are 2 handouts on your desk to reference for some of these reasons.
Okay. Thank you very much. Commissioner Frazier?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Also wanted to make a comment and also ask Director Snowden if he would come forward I'll start with agenda item number 22, followed by, I have a question for agenda item number 23. Agenda item 22 is the UDO request.
Yes, Commissioner. How's everybody?
Fine as frog here, Director Snowden. How are you? All right, so my question is this. Would this utility guidelines, and excuse me, you all, I'm kind of struggling with a head cold or something, be codified in the public right-of-way section of the UDO?
Correct, Commissioner. I'm sorry, I was having a hard time hearing. I don't think I can hear too good.
I can repeat it if you would like. It's unclear to me. It's unclear to me as to whom would pay the fees or the fines, because it's my understanding from previous conversations and discussions that the joint use pole attachment agreements set out in these terms and the fees in accordance with the Federal Communications Commission I'm unclear as to, according to those regulations, who would be paying the fees? And I just need some clarification, some help to better understand that. And then also, my first question was, if this was codified, would it be codified in the public right-of-way section of the UDO? It wouldn't have a separate section for utility guidelines. It would be included in the right-of-way section.
Correct. Thank you
Okay.
so much for repeating that. To take the second question first, you're right. The intent would be, like if you look at the city of Knoxville's roadway ordinance, they have a section in there that relates to permitting fees, or not permitting, well, permitting fees and permitting process. So yes, that would be the thought, that as part of the UDO, that ordinance is going to be updated. That's one of the things the consultant's working on. So if we wanted to, if this body wanted to add that, we could dovetail that in. That would be relatively easy to do. And then we would obviously, I've talked to a couple of consultants about doing that work, reaching out to utility owners, and kind of bringing them to the table to talk about what that may look like, and then ultimately bringing you all a recommendation. So yes, that's that part. The other part is, and this is a good question, because I was talking to Mr. Caldwell this morning about one of these items that Commissioner Jay has noted about the exemption of paying fees. We may need to look at that a little bit closer. The way it's worded in the current resolution talks about waiving fees per particular project, and the way we interpret pilots and payment in lieu of taxes, it's more of a franchising fee. So it doesn't feel like it would be per specific project. It may be more agency specific. So we may want to look at that a little bit. So maybe we could do that, as Commissioner Durrett phrased, maybe if it is postponed, we could take the next 30 days and look at that a little closer.
Okay, and that just also gives me some assurance, because while you were speaking, what I was kind of hearing is that Engineering and Public Works would like some time to kind of further examine the language and clarify the intent. And so thank you for clearing that up for me.
Yep, glad to.
Do I go ahead and speak on number 23? And really, agenda item number 23, my question is very simple. How would this benefit or help Engineering and Public Works, and how would it benefit the public?
Sure, glad to. And this is kind of codifying a procedure that we currently use now, but we don't really have the legislative authority to do it. If someone called our hand on it, obviously, and this particular resolution has kind of 4 different facets, but the one that I would liken it to is if have a road project, and we do a lot of road projects, and we have a lot of utility relocations, if a utility project owner or utility owner is uncooperative, which they can be from time to time as far as relocating their facilities, everybody's drove through that road project and saw that one line hanging from that pole up there, and that's the only thing to prevent that road project being completed. We have in the past held their future permits, and that's been able to get that utility owner expedited to relocate that facility. And we've done that, but we've done it kind of on a veiled threat without this body's authority. So this would be a process in which we would be granted that authority to allow for, those folks to, hopefully encourage them to get those facilities out of the way sooner and avoid that inconvenience to the public. And there's some other things in here regarding double poles that we've talked about previously, as well as safety issues that we've identified. So, but be happy to talk any more about that. But that's one example I could use that I think the public would benefit from, is us having that authority.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Commissioner Hill?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm asking Mr. Moyers if you would please, between now and next week or next month, whenever we actually hear this, to be sure that this is all in line with the structuring of public utilities and the federal rules and regulations that go along with that. I know at one time we were talking about penalties, and I do see, if I'm reading it correctly, that has been removed. But just making sure that we actually do have the ability to withhold permits and this type of thing as we move forward. And Jim, that'll do nothing but cover all of us, just making sure that whatever's put in there is in compliance with the federal regulations.
Yes, ma'am. And to help Mr. Starkey in the Law Director's Office help us with this, and I asked him that question, do we have this authority? And his answer was, well, I can't find where we do, but I can't find where we don't. You know, it is our, obviously, this is our right-of-way. It's our right-of-way that we maintain. So that was the response. And certainly we want to be, as we go through this, we've built a lot of good relationships with these utilities. And, you know, I want to certainly maintain those and be fair and equitable about it. So we've tried to do that with this document.
Commissioner Durant?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Snowden, I know it's practice of some telecommunications to have franchise agreements with each LFA, with each government entity. Is it common practice for all telecommunications to have separate franchise agreements with each individual government entity?
Gosh, Commissioner Durrett, I'm not sure. I would assume so, but that's an assumption on my part. I don't know specifically.
Okay. I ask that because I know to speak to your to part 3 of item 23, that has the 4 parts to it, where you were discussing the project, the Knox County projects being held up because of typically a loan line that's just waiting to be moved. And typically in franchise agreements, those terms are laid out. That time frame is laid out. So that's why I asked about. Typically, it's 90 days. So that's why I asked if all of them have those, and that might be where the teeth can come in and the penalties can come in, and not necessarily fees, but withholding permits versus putting it in into the UDO, or excuse me, versus putting it however we do it. When we have those individual franchise agreements between Knox County government and whatever company, that's where we could put in penalties potentially to look at. And then, you know, to speak to the UDO one too, franchise agreements, that's between the county and the telecommunications company or whatever company it is. And those franchise agreements are agreements to operate in the public right-of-way, and in turn, that company pays fees. I can say that in 2024, Comcast paid Knox County $1.85 million in franchise fees. So to go around and have to charge for permit applications would actually violate our franchise agreement. And so that is, I'm trying to tread a line right now. So that's all I'm going to say, but there is a potential place for penalties to be included in franchise fees, but that is if and only if each attacher has that separate franchise agreement with the county. And yeah, I guess I'll leave it at that. I have a whole page, but again, I'm treading a line that I'm trying not to cross.
Thank you. Commissioner Rawls?
Thank you, Madam Chair. And this is a little bit of 2 questions, because I did have a question for the maker of the resolution. So I've got a couple of questions out to the utility boards, because I want to see if 22 and 23 would impact fees in a way that would increase the cost of services at the tail end of this once it makes its way down the line. And I haven't gotten any clarity, haven't had those meetings yet. So how would we ask for a postponement for 30 days if the maker's not here? Or what do you advise?
Well, at this meeting, there really is no way. This is not a voting meeting. So you could, I guess, it'd be out of order. You could potentially bring it up tonight, although it'd be out of order. So the better thing to do would be to wait till Monday and make a motion that it be postponed for 30 days.
Okay, I can do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll put in for him.
Okay.
Also, okay.
Commissioner Lee?
Thank you, Madam Chair. My question is for Mr. Law Director. In regards to what Commissioner Durrett said, could you address that? Because I know she was referring to Comcast. Is that correct in the legal analysis that she presented?
Well, if you look at the document that's been put in front of you, Section 2.3, this is a portion of the franchise agreement with Comcast. It says that the franchising authority, that would be the county, shall not charge the company, and the company shall be required to pay any fee or charge for the issuance of permits, license, or other approvals, such as payments that are included in the franchise fee, as such payments are included in the franchise fee described in Section 4 below. So at least with Comcast, we have some language in there that says that because they pay a franchise fee, we cannot require them to pay any other kind of fee. Is that the question you were asking?
Yes, it is my question. And is that not an agreement we have with all utilities, or is that just specific to Comcast?
It's, as I understand it, I really wasn't prepared for this, but as I understand it, we have a franchise agreement with every company that provides internet and/or cable television services in Knox County.
Is that going to be similar language or the same?
I don't know. I haven't looked at our franchise agreements in years. So I don't know if the same language is in there. I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case, because we probably, have generally the same kind of agreements with all of them. I can't imagine we would have, terribly different ones. There shouldn't be that many. Spectrum is in town, I think. We used to have Knology, but Knology's gone, I think. So
What about Frontier? Can you address Frontier?
if Frontier is providing internet or cable services in Knox County, then we probably have a franchise agreement for them.
Is that something that we could get before we vote on this to know? Because my question would be, if that is the language, then what options do we have?
Well, for this purpose, probably none. If we pass these resolutions, then it would certainly be a strong incentive to incorporate that language into any future franchise agreements. Or it could just be done that way. But these franchise agreements have a definite, life to them. I don't think we can renegotiate them unless the utility companies or the telecom companies are willing to renegotiate them. So it would have to wait until the franchise agreement were to run out before we could change the language if they didn't feel like they wanted to do that. So we would have to look at the language of each franchise agreement to see if that language is in there. But as I say, I'd be surprised if it wasn't.
Okay. So would you be able to tell us what options we have?
Well, like I said, if we pass the resolution, but we currently have franchise agreements with all the telecoms that are doing business in Knox County that say that we cannot charge them fees above the franchise agreement, then the resolution really wouldn't have any impact. Right. We could not do that without breaching our contract with these telecom companies. But as I say, if the language is not in the other ones, then we could certainly apply it to the other ones. And it certainly would be an incentive or a directive to the telecom committee or whoever negotiates these franchise agreements when they come up to include that language. But like I said, if, and I don't know, but if all of our franchise agreements have this language in them already, then these resolutions probably could not be utilized immediately.
I can speak to my district that Frontier is one of the chief offenders and that's holding up a lot of projects, including the Diamond on Emory Road. So I would be interested in knowing.
Well, let me say this. We're talking about different things now. I was addressing the question of fees and the permitting process and things like that. This doesn't, well, let me see. This talks about not charging the company, but my understanding of 23 is it provides the authority to withhold permits if there's a problem. And that's different than charging a fee. So unless there's something either in the Telecommunications Act, the Federal Telecommunications Act, which if Charlie says there isn't, I'd take his word on that. And if there's nothing in the franchise agreement that would not allow us to withhold or hold back a permit, then I'd say that that is something we could do, okay? The language I'm looking at right now only speaks to charging an additional fee for a permit.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Rawls?
Just a question. Is what Commissioner Lee discussing covered in 1.4, right? Like we can't alter.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying before. This franchise agreement is basically a contract between, in this case, Comcast and Knox County. And like any contract, we can't just come in and unilaterally change the language. So let's see, this was effective in 2023. So under this, unless Comcast agreed to go back in and renegotiate the franchise agreement, we probably couldn't affect this until 2033, at least in terms of fees. But like I said, that's a different question than withholding a permit because Comcast hasn't followed our rules and regs. That's I don't know whether that's also covered in the franchise. I'm just looking at this that I have in front of me, and this would not affect that.
But to Commissioner Lee's point, isn't this the same for every utility?
I don't know. Without looking at all the franchise agreements, my gut would suggest to me yes, but without looking at them, I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Thank you. Director Snowden, Commissioner Durrett, remind me of the agreement between all of the utilities that you guys have. There's an acronym, and I can't remember.
Engines?
Yes, engine. So right now, with, as Commissioner Lee said, Frontier holding up progress on that particular road, there is, I understand, with like LCUB, who's my main utility provider, that if there is an emergency, then they can go in and they can remove a situation. So what is kind of holding up whoever owns those poles in this situation, Commissioner Lee's situation, or it could be any of ours, but right now, currently in hers, what is stopping either the county or other utilities to be able to say, Company A, you've not responded, you know, what can we do? What I'm saying is, what can we do now before we have to do a resolution to something? Is there a help to that?
You know, and this is something I think it'd be interesting to hear the perspective from the pole, a lot of the pole, and really the pole owners in our community are LCUB and KUB. Right. AT&T owns some poles, Frontier owns some poles, but 95% of the poles in Knox County are owned by one of those two agencies. And to go on that pole, you have to sign an agreement with that pole owner. So I think the pole owner has the authority to do these things today. But I don't know, like I said, their agreements are separate, third party. I don't see those, but I know that they have that capability. So if like in KUB's instance, I'm assuming they're the power provider out there at the Diverging Diamond, they would have the ability to remove those lines, but I don't know the process in which KUB would have to give them to do so.
Right, okay.
If that makes sense. So I think we can got multiple ways to skin that cat, yes.
Okay. And I agree with Commissioner Rawls. I've reached out to LCUB also, who's my main provider. I have a few KUB, but very few. Most of them are LCUB. And we have not the same one that Commissioner Lee has a problem with. We have another one. So it's been my conversation with LCUB. So Commissioner Durrett.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I was just going to add that Mr. Snowden's correct. We have pole attachment agreements with every utility or pole owner. Us as attachers would have that set forth. And in those pole agreements, you will find penalties that will be incurred if and the pole owner sets this. Like this is all, it's a long negotiation, and I'm in the middle of 3 of them right now in different counties. with pole owners, but they set forth their parameters and their timeframes on when things need to be transferred or if there's a new pole erected and how that goes. And then they set the penalties in those pole attachment agreements, and it's different for each individual pole owner. Attachers could pay a fee for like at a certain percentage for one, and it be 3% higher for a different one. And so it just depends, but it's negotiated out in those individual agreements with the utility pole owners and the attachers. And speaking to time frame, there's a diagram just so you can see what's utility, what's telecom. When we talk about time frame and like withholding permits because someone's not acting, and I get that it's not everybody, but it does, if there's one bad actor, let's say, I don't know if y'all remember this conversation, but there's an order of attachment. And so therein also is an order of transfer. And so if we've got the bad actor who's next to go to transfer to the new pole and the rest are waiting, do we also incur those penalties because we are not moving in the proper time frame? Right. And so that's where the water gets muddied. Let's say, because this resolution said 3 months but up to 6. Let's say one has not moves on 5 months and 29 days, finally decides they're going to move on the last day of that 6 months. So then what about the rest of the attachers? Are they subject to that 1 day, or will they get an additional day? It's broad. Typically, and I know this is with the county, and to be able to have some kind of teeth in getting those bad actors to move, but when we have those pole agreements, when attachers have those pole attachment agreements with the individual utilities that own the poles, and it sets it out in those guidelines of what the penalties are, how quickly attachers need to move, and that sort of thing, this kind of muddies the waters. Like, would this, and this kind of, I guess, is a question for Mr. Moyers, can the language of these resolutions lawfully negate any kind of language that's included in pole attachment agreements between attachers and utilities?
No.
Okay.
It cannot. That would be a violation of the Constitution, actually.
Okay. Well, okay, so that answers that. So, I mean, like I said earlier, we would be able to potentially make some language changes, but ask for that postponement for several reasons, but that specifically because I know for a fact in a pole attachment agreement I'm very familiar with, the guidelines are set out on what happens if my organization does not move in a timely manner and what those penalties are.
Yeah, it does.
And they go to them.
Yeah, it gets very complicated. And then when you do have the people that are following the rules, there's a problem there. So.
And I can say, like I said, it's different between every attacher and utility.
Yeah. Commissioner Lee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I guess I just have two examples. One is right in front of my house. There was a pole that snapped 3 years ago. So the pole was replaced, but there's a hanging pole still hanging from the wire. KUB's looked at it, the county's looked at it, Comcast has looked at it, Frontier's looked at it. Everybody says it's Frontier's. It's still hanging there. They're not doing anything. And then we just had the state come out and speak in Powell last week, who said Frontier has been holding up the project. So that's my two examples. Thank you.
Thank you.
And they're the only thing holding up the widening on West Emory for Belltown. So that's, I mean, they're a good partner. They work with us, but they are a smaller agency and a little bit slower to get things done.
Thank you. All right. Do we have any other items for the agenda? Commissioner Frazier.
Oh, thank you, Madam Chair. Just wanted to provide some information. I had reached out to Knox County Sheriff's Office about agenda item number 16, and they are always so gracious to get back to me and provide any information that I ask or help me clarify anything, and I just wanted to share that. So this emergency vehicle operations course, this was approved in their capital improvement plan in fiscal year 2025. The total project cost is estimated at $3.5 million. And so the resolution that you see on the agenda, it's for the approval of a contract with Robert Campbell and Associates in the amount of $132,200 for design and engineering the new vehicle operations course. The contract includes the survey and design for a 1,200-foot entrance road, the driver training track approximately 3,300 feet, and a 5-acre driver skill practice area. Engineering services also will include site boundary and topographic survey, site grading and drainage, water, sewer, and electric design and erosion control. They will put together the bid packages for Knox County purchasing, as well as assist in the evaluation of bids, acts as the owner's representative, and will monitor the construction and approval of all payment applications. So I just wanted to simply share that response that I got when I reached out to them.
Thank you. Commissioner Durrett.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Item number 15 I saw was to be added. Are we just going to do a regular appointment process for that one, like we normally do for the audit committee appointment?
I assume, can we do it the regular way? Okay, Director Moyers, okay, perfect.
Thank you.
All right, well, seeing no other discussion, then we are adjourned and be back here at 5 o'clock. Thank you.
Life, you're not that kind of girl. They're only paint and powder people. Once upon a time, when you discover all of this, I want you to be mine. When things aren't going just the way you planned, come right back, I'll always understand. When you realize what true love is, when the good life seems far away, get your boat, a train. To stay, they're only paint and powder people living in their world. You won't like that kind of life. You're not that kind of girl. a bird, drop like a bird. Your eyes are rose to the future. Your eyes are lost in the past. Tendress of the heart. Vision of gold. Gypsy of the harbor. I don't wanna know. I can't stand what you do. You got a black heart. I'm falling so fast. Black heart. Losing my heart. I'm trapped like a bird. Trapped like a bird. You got a black heart. I'm falling so fast. Black heart. Trapped like a bird. Trapped like a bird. live for the moment. Let's all be happy. Let's all be happy, happy today. Get in Sunday morning, sleep still in your eyes. You put the kettle on. Spending money, you could eating toast and honey with your fingers. Our French cigarettes have a bottle of wine over from the night before. We couldn't take it. Something tells me there must have been a party. Something tells me we must have had a ball to make it. Ooh, it's a real fine state of mind. Ooh, it's a real fine state of mind. Stumble out the back door, kick a tin can on the floor, and watch it roll away. The dog barks from his loss of the chain, looks up to the sky, thinks it's going to rain. It is. Funny how the world seems to quieten down every Sunday morning when there's no one around. As a matter of fact, we're gonna take a little ride way over to the forest where there's no way to hide. Ooh, it's a real fine state of mind. Ooh, it's a real fine state of mind. It's a real fine state of mind. Ooh, it's a real fine state of mind. I've got a warm love to help me through the night. I've got a real fine love, make everything alright. I've got a warm love to help me through the night. I've got a real fine love, make everything alright. Always makes me feel good every day. Every day. When I'm feeling blue, she always knows what to say. Better believe it. And in the night, she covers me in kisses. She lets me know how she misses me. But don't worry, baby, I won't be too far away from you. I've got a warm love to help me through the night. I've got a real fine love, make everything alright. Always makes me feel good every day. Sure does. When I'm feeling blue, she always knows what to say. Always the right thing. And in the night, she covers me. Oh, she lets me know how she misses me. I'll be back. And if our love fade away, I wouldn't last for a day. But our love won't fade away. I've got a warm love to help me through the night. I've got a real fine love, makes everything alright. She warms my heart. I've got a warm love to help me through the night. I've got a real fine love, makes everything alright. Girls, 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 wherever you look, there is girls, 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 fill the book, always do. Girls, 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 there are small ones, neat ones, big ones, sweet ones. Girls, girls, girls. Helen launched 1,000 ships. Monroe gave us those luscious lips. John Moreau was a wicked dream. Cleopatra ruled the Nile, teaching Caesar what was style and love. Don't forget sweet love. Girls, 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 wherever you look, there is girls, girls, girls. Fill the book, always do. Girls, 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 there are small ones, neat ones, big ones, sweet ones. Girls, girls, girls.
Then I've got 2 bottles of Cokes.
Oh, you did?
Still haven't got it. So. Good afternoon. I call to order this zoning meeting for the Knox County Commission for Monday, September 15th, 2025. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Rawls,
Present.
Commissioner Durrett.
Here. Oh.
Commissioner Esther.
Here. Sorry.
Commissioner Jackson.
Here.
Commissioner Russell.
Here.
Commissioner Hill.
Here.
Commissioner Lee.
Here.
Commissioner Thompson.
Here.
Commissioner Fox. Here. Commissioner Jay. Commissioner Frazier.
Present.
Thank you. I will now turn it over to Commissioner Jackson for our Pledge of Allegiance.
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Amendments to the agenda, we have 0 additions, 0 withdrawals, and defer to October is number 6. All right, do we have any discussion? Seeing none, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Who was the second?
Me.
Who was the first?
Durrett.
Okay. We have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Durrett, second by Commissioner Frazier. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Approval of minutes of previous meeting. Do we have any discussion? Seeing none?
Second.
I got a motion on the floor by Commissioner Thompson and a second by Commissioner Hill. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Public forum agenda items, and I want to say that both were for number 6, and they have been postponed. Drew, were you able to get a hold of the 2 speakers? Okay, perfect. All right, just wanted to make sure. They have been. And I will now turn it over to Director Moyers to swear in our individuals.
All right, if you're here to speak to this board on any item on the agenda, whether for or against, please stand and raise your right hand. If you intend to speak this evening on any item, please stand and raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Be seated, please.
Thank you. All right, Madam Chair, if you will read the first item. Or Madam Clerk.
Item number 18F25RZ is a request of Base Camp Rentals, Inc. and CCG Auto LLC for rezoning from A agricultural and PR planned residential up to 4 dwelling units per acre to RA low-density residential. Property located at 2107 Tipton Station Road, parcel ID 148109 in the 9th Commission District.
Thank you. And is the applicant present? Hi. If you will come to the podium and see if your light is on with the little person on it. There we go. If you will give your name and county residence, please.
Scott Felsky, Knox County resident.
You can adjust the mic.
Scott Felsky, Knox County resident.
Thank you. And we don't have anyone signed up in opposition. No one here is signed up to speak. So Director Brooks.
Planning Commission recommends that County Commission approve the RA low-density residential zone because it's consistent with the Knox County Comprehensive Plan and surrounding development.
Thank you. Mr. Felsky, would you like to speak to your project?
I'm just here in case you all had any questions.
Okay. Would you like to tell us a little bit about what you were wanting to do?
Sure. We purchased that property, the home and acreage. It was zoned agricultural, and we are wanting to survey and carve off the house and its immediate half acre to sell that, and then keep the other approximately 1.5 acres for potentially future development down the road. We don't know exactly what yet.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from commissioners? Commissioner Fox.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I've heard a rumor, because this particular project was discussed at the Southville Neighborhood Association, and my understanding is that the intention for the other 1.5 acres is to place some tiny homes on it and use them as rentals. Is that correct?
No, that is not our plan at this moment.
Okay. All right. Why are you seeking a density of 4 units per acre for those 1.5 acres?
That is just the zoning that was recommended to us so that we could sell the house in its immediate half acre, because agriculturally we'd have to sell a house in a full acre.
Are you aware that right now, immediately across the street from Tipton Station Road, that Clayton Homes is undertaking a development that's going to bring in 400 homes?
I have heard that, yes.
Okay. All right. Did you, have you reached out to some of the local community organizations to see their sentiments about this particular project?
We had, of course, the zoning committee or planning commission posted the signs when we applied for rezoning. There was some discussion on social media that I saw and that I responded to. I mean, our plan is just to add 1 home, and there's a drainage easement. There's also a stream that would have to have a 25-foot buffer. So I don't think we could do much there, even if we want to, other than 1 house, if you look at the way it's laid out.
Okay, well, that's why I don't understand why you're pursuing 4 units per acre. If that's really all you want to do, I think there would be a better way to accomplish this than pursue planned residential 4 units per acre. That's why I asked that.
Well, we were just told that we need to go from agricultural to residential zoning in order to be able to sell the existing home and its half acre. If you look at the way the other roughly 1.5 acres lays out, we need that larger section to even be able to build a home there, that wide, that deeper section, if you will. Currently, I don't think we could even build anything in that thin strip that you see to the left. So we're just trying to carve off the house in that triangle, if you will, to the right, so that we can build 1 more home to the left of that house in that wider, larger section.
Okay. Well, Director Brooks, Director Snowden, I'd like to accommodate the speaker, but it's been communicated to me that the local neighborhood opposes this, and so I'm asking you, what can we do to allow him to build one home on the remaining 1.5 acre tract and leave that other half-acre tract with the current home intact and allow that to be sold? Do you have any suggestions?
So maybe I can help provide some clarification here. So the applicant is asking for RA, which is low-density residential zone, which is the minimum 10,000 square feet. He's not asking for planned residential for this piece of property. Given its size, I can see why our staff would not have recommended that they pursue planned residential. Planned residential is usually for typically larger properties, which this one is not. So that is the reason for the request for RA.
Okay, I thought I looked at the case summary and case history, and it discussed a recommendation of 4 units per acre on it.
No, it's approve RA. The current zoning on the property is A, and they have a very small sliver of PR. Maybe that is part of the confusion there.
Okay. Well, okay, well, yeah, okay, what it says, oh, I see, okay. So he's just requesting low-density residential. I understand. All right, thank you. Okay, Madam Chair, those are all the questions I have.
Okay, there's no other questions, so would you like to go ahead and make your motion?
Yes, I move that this particular tract of land be rezoned RA pursuant to the, let's see here, let me make sure I use the correct words here. Because residential, or low-density residential is consistent with the Knox County Comprehensive Plan and surrounding development.
Okay, we've got a motion on the floor by Commissioner Fox and a second by Commissioner Lee. Commissioner Thompson?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Would Commissioner Fox be open to a friendly amendment of adding the condition that in the event that it's not just one house, or if this house is closer to Tipton Station Road, that we do require a turnabout driveway since it is so close to Tipton Station Road, just for safety reasons?
Yes, I would be open to that. Thank you.
Okay, so we've got a motion on the floor by Commissioner Fox, a second by Commissioner Lee, and then the condition of, did you get the condition? Okay. Okay. All right, do we have any other discussion? Commissioner Hill?
A turnabout,
A turnaround, I think you
a
said.
turnaround.
It's a turnaround driveway. That way they don't have to, they pull in, they don't have to back out into Tipton Station Road. It gives them a way, it requires them to put in a driveway such that they can turn around
So
without coming on the road.
It's the size, not the shape, that you're wanting to make sure. Is that the way to word it, just a turnaround? We'll accomplish that. Great. Okay. Thank you. I wasn't real sure about that. Thank you, Commissioner Thompson.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Best of luck with your project. Thank you, Mr.
Thanks very
Felski.
much.
Have a great evening. Madam Clerk, next item, please.
Item number 2, 5P25RZ is a request of Brad Pruitt for rezoning from A agricultural to PC planned commercial property located at 0 Asheville Highway, parcel ID 072002, part of in the 8th Commission District.
Thank you. Is the applicant present?
Ben Mullins, 550 West Main Street, here for the applicant.
Thank you, Mr. Mullins. No one signed up in opposition. No one's here to speak. Director Brooks?
Planning Commission recommends that County Commission approve the PC Plan Commercial Zone because it is compatible with a neighboring parcel and is an extension of the PC zone and is in the comprehensive plan.
Perfect. Mr. Mullins, would you like to speak to the project?
Yes, this is part, this parcel is attached to a 126-acre parcel there to the east, where there is a master plan approved for a mixed-use ball field commercial development. In fact, they are revising that, and there's another development plan that'll be heard by Planning Commission in October for that. This parcel is a total of 8.5 acres. However, 5.13 acres is just that portion that is highlighted to the north that is currently zoned ag. The entire place type is corridor commercial at red CC that you see there. The front portion of it has been zoned CA. That's probably a legacy zone. It's been there forever. They would just extend commercial zoning a certain amount off of Asheville Highway. The planned commercial zoning, which is what we requested, both the CA and the planned commercial zoning are actually directly related to the corridor commercial place type. The planned commercial, I think, makes more sense because it is compatible with the existing planned commercial that's, to the east and the north of it, and also requires, there to be a development plan move forward for whatever is ultimately ends up going on that property. We know that as part of the overall development plan, our plans for this property, I mean, it has some topographical constraints, and it slopes up as you go north towards the ridge and then starts to slope back down. We are going to have to do some stabilization of that slope moving up, and we'll be extending some of our commercial parcels to that southern portion of it that we're asking to be rezoned. But most of that really is not going to be developed. But the planned commercial does allow us to then make sure it's compatible with what we're doing. We postponed this a couple of times. We're still working out our development plan and what we intended to do with the remainder of the property. I know Commissioner Thompson had some questions, and we've talked to him several times, kind of going through kind of overall what the general plans are. What we would like to do if we could acquire more property to the east, just kind of a bigger picture as to what's going on there. But this is just really a very small piece in that, but a necessary piece, just kind of set the table for what we are wanting to do in the future. So with all of that, happy to answer any questions, but we'd ask that you approve per Planning Commission's recommendation.
Thank you. Commissioner Fox, do you have a question? Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Commissioner Frazier?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a couple of quick questions. The property that is to the northwest, it has a condition, I see, PCK.
That was actually removed by this body a couple of months ago.
All right, that's what I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
I thought we had, but I wanted to make
It's
sure.
still, I guess, when this application was filed, that hadn't been approved yet, and so it's still in the paperwork.
Okay, and then this question is for Director Brooks. I see that the staff recommended denial because it was incompatible with environmental constraints. And then also it goes on to state that CC was a possible error in the comp plan, and it should be more like rural conservation. Could you just take a minute to speak to that, if you would, please, ma'am?
Sure, I can give it a try. So, yes, there are some significant environmental constraints on this piece of property in the range of slopes of 25% to 40%, and a substantial proportion of this exceeds that 40%. So, when we were applying the rural conservation place type, that was one of the criteria, in particular the slopes, but other environmental constraints. So that was something that was identified in the staff report that could also have been a designation for this particular piece of property.
Thank you. Commissioner Thompson?
Thank you, Madam Chair. To give some background on this rezoning, I initially, several months ago, was very well prepared to just deny it because it did have some environmental constraints. There are incredibly steep slopes, and I've driven past it numerous times on National Highway. And so it didn't make sense to think that, the mountain could come down. However, we've postponed this ad nauseum. But we've had good conversations have come out of it. There's been different concept plans, design plans, ideas that have come from those postponements because it's been a fluid conversation because I did have some concerns because, as we know, that in the county, hillside protection is advisory, it's not regulatory. And so speaking with Mr. Pruitt and Mr. Mullins both, it's become clear that it is cost prohibitive for the project in general to remove that much earth because with very limited very limited gain, per se. And the design of it and the vision for it is to utilize the slopes and keep them there. And so I think the project overall, in my opinion, is very ambitious, but would be a real asset for the area. And I honestly, for this rezoning, is more of making it look consistent on paper than it is necessarily protecting I guess the natural resource in the slope that's there, because the design that Mr. Pruitt has put forth protects the slope. The top of it may come down a little bit, but very minimal, just to, I guess, utilize the natural resources there in that hilltop. So I feel comfortable with it, that the sheer economics of it make it prohibitive to just clearing it out, because there is so much of it and there's so much rock on that we're not, and, you know, the other part of it too is, you know, Mr. Mullins and Mr. Pruitt both, you know, they're local, and Mr. Pruitt, you know, has assured me, he said, this is not the only project he wants to do. And so going back on his word, saying he's not going to disturb this, would not sit well. And we, I guess, came to an agreement that no, it would be remembered if something goes sideways, that, you know, it does not sit well. So, but that's my thought and the history on the conversations that we've had to get to this point. Because I started out, I was just, oh, this is an easy no, just for the reasons that were in the comp plan. So.
Doesn't seem like that there's any other questions, so if you want to make your motion, Commissioner Thompson.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the rezoning from ag to PC.
Do I have a second? Okay. All right. We have got a motion on the floor by Commissioner Thompson, a second by Commissioner Rawls. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Best of luck with your project.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Thompson,
Next
for all the
item, please.
work on this.
They know where to find you, Ben.
Item number 3, 8E25RZ is a request of Noah Robbins for rezoning from A agricultural to RA low-density residential. Property located at 07740 7744 Tazewell Pike, parcel ID 013050 and 051021080 in the 8th Commission District.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi,
If you will give your name and county of residence, please.
Noah Robbins, Knox County.
All right. We don't have anyone signed up in opposition. No one here to speak. Director Brooks?
Planning Commission recommends that County Commission approve the RA low-density residential zone because it's consistent with the Knox County Comprehensive Plan and is supported by community and commercial amenities.
Thank you. Mr. Robbins, would you like to speak to your project?
Yeah, we are planning to build a duplex on that more triangle-shaped lot, and we were hoping to use a use on review, which would require the rezoning to the RA.
Okay. Do we have any questions from commissioners? Seeing none, Commissioner Thompson?
Thank you, Madam Chair. As I'm sure you're aware, you do realize this falls within the parental responsibility zone, since it's so close to both schools.
No, explain more, sorry.
Okay, basically there's no bus service. So it's the parents' responsibility of getting the children to and from school.
Okay.
So you're just wanting to put one duplex, or?
Possibly, we're still a little bit out. If we could, we'd love to divide the lot down the middle and put two.
Okay.
But we're not that far into it just yet.
Gotcha, okay. I mean, I certainly don't problem with that, Nancy, I'm certainly not opposed to it. The only condition I would like to put on here is, since it is so close to the school, with pedestrian traffic as well, consolidating the driveways. So if you have a duplex or you put in another one, that they all have the same driveway, so we have one connection point to Tazewell Pike instead of multiple.
Right.
And so, if that's agreeable for everybody else, can I go ahead and make a motion?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'd like to go ahead and make a motion that we approve the rezoning from agriculture to RA with one condition that there only be one vehicular access point to Tazewell Pike.
I've got a motion on the floor by Commissioner Thompson, a second by Commissioner Lee with a condition. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you and best of luck with your project. Madam Clerk, next item, please.
Item number 4, 8B25RZ is a request of George W. Hicks for rezoning from A agricultural to CA general business, property located at 6447 Rutledge Pike, parcel ID 060131113 in the 8th Commission District.
Thank you. Hello, Mr. Hicks. Can you
Hello.
give your name and county of residence, please?
George Hicks, Knox County.
Thank you. And there's no one signed up in opposition, no one here to speak against it. Director Brooks?
Planning Commission recommends that County Commission approve the CA General Business Zone because it's consistent with the comprehensive plan and compatible with surrounding development, subject to one condition.
Thank you. Mr. Hicks, would you like to speak to your project?
Well, the house is surrounded by commercial property, and my mom passed. It's my house, and I'm wanting to sell it, and I can't sell it as residential, surrounded by commercial, so I need to get it rezoned commercial so I can sell it.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry for your loss of your mom.
I'm sorry.
Sorry for your loss of your mom.
Oh, thank you. I wear hearing aids. I don't hear real good.
That's okay. That's okay. I don't hear real well either, so I need to speak in the mic. Do we have any questions from commissioners?
No.
Commissioner Frazier?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just some clarification, sir. The other structures that are nearby that are at the end of this, it looks like it's kind of a shared driveway, circle driveway. Are those residential structures or commercial structures?
Well, all the property around me is commercial. Even the house and garage across from mine, it's for sale, and it's for sale as commercial. Down on the front, you've got a business that's commercial, and then you've got another business commercial down on the front next to the driveway.
Okay, so would the access point remain the same?
Yeah, the driveway's never been moved. It's exactly where it was 2007.
Okay, so you're saying those structures that we can see in the red that kind of look pink, those are also commercial structures?
Yeah, everything up there's
Okay.
commercial.
Thank you for the clarification.
Okay.
Thank you. Seeing no other questions, Commissioner Thompson, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Okay, so I was looking at I guess what do you call this? I guess I'm looking at a copy of the plat, and looking at that easement. So there's an asphalt driveway that comes up, and basically it's a shared gravel lot, I guess, correctly, for parking.
There's no gravel lot on the driveway. The driveway's only 12, 14 foot wide, but it's asphalt all the way top the hill.
Right, and then when you get to the top of the hill between the garages and the houses, is that gravel?
No, between the two houses, every bit of that's paved.
All of it's paved now,
He's
okay.
got a small section around a tree on his side. Matter of fact, it's in the easement, but that's the only thing ain't paved, but it's all paved, probably 150 by 100 or something like that.
Gotcha, okay. All righty. Sorry, I was going back and forth between these. So, I mean, it seems fitting. I mean, there's nobody here in opposition, so I make a motion that we approve the rezoning from agriculture to CA.
I've got a motion on the floor by Commissioner Thompson and a second by Commissioner Fox. I'm sorry. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Best of luck, Mr. Hicks.
Thank you very much.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
evening.
Thank
You're welcome. Commissioner Thompson, do you want to include the condition is there a condition on the property?
Oh, was there a
Oh, it's
condition?
condition here, subject to one condition? Do
Yes.
you want to add that to your motion?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Madam
Sorry, I
Clerk.
overlooked that.
Yes, next item.
Item number 5, 8A25RZ, request of Damon and Dagan Green for rezoning from A agricultural to PR planned residential up to 5 dwelling units per acre. Property located at 0 East Emory Road, parcel ID is 020-12004 in the 8th Commission District.
Thank you. Hello. If you'll give your name and.
Yes, Derek Green. My cousins are Damon and Dagan and Knox County.
Okay, and there's no one signed up in opposition and no one here to speak. Director Brooks?
Planning Commission recommends that County Commission approve the PR plan residential up to 4.3 dwelling units per acre.
Thank you. Would you like to speak to your project?
Yes, could you repeat the dwelling units per acre there?
4.3.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's actually zoned for 5 dwelling units. They came back with 4 because of traffic issues and accidents along the road. We didn't push back much there, but our plan is quadplexes. Our plan is to long-term hold those within our family. And 4 dwelling units per acre based on the acreage came out to like 26.5 units. We just asked for a little bit higher so we get to 28, which fits 7 quadplexes versus dropping lower.
And that's your 4.3.
Correct.
Right, okay.
Yes.
All right.
That gets us to 28.
Okay. Any questions from commissioners? Commissioner Frazier?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a quick question for Director Brooks and also Director Snowden. I read in the report that in 2017, the TDOT study indicated some significant improvements. However, there's currently no funding to do those improvements. Is that still the case?
As far as I know, that TDOT did not include that in their 10-year plan. Is that correct, Mr. Snowden?
Yeah, that's correct, Commissioner Frazier. They started the preliminary layouts on it. That it is going to be a proposed 5-lane facility. And as you can imagine, there's a lot of right-of-way tracks out here. I think there were something like 350 tracks. So due to the cost of the right-of-way acquisitions, the state has bumped it out of the 10-year plan. So there are no state funding allocated towards the project presently.
Okay. And then I would also just ask the district commissioner if he would consider any sort of landscape buffers on those eastern and western property lines to mitigate any impact to, it looks like to the east, there are several just large acre lots, and then also existing residential subdivision on the west property line. Just something I would ask for your consideration.
All right, seeing no other questions, I'll turn it over to Commissioner Thompson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I believe we spoke on the phone earlier today. With this being a long-term holding, so you've got a vested interest in, because I asked you about landscaping, what's it going to look like afterwards? And I'd like to kind of echo what Commissioner Frazier said, and I thought it too, and I meant to bring it up in our conversation, but I mean, would you be opposed to like a 15-foot vegetative buffer on those 2 sides?
I think, can we discuss that as we get the site plan back? We've done a concept plan. The reason being because with this being rural conservation going to planned residential, we can only develop on a certain part of the land. We just are not that far along yet. We are definitely open to that. We want to do it the right way. We always do it the right way. But I'm just not sure what our buffers are going to be like yet. I mean, there's a potential sinkhole at the front of the property, so we're going to have to get a geotechnical engineering plan as well. So if I could, come back to you, I don't know the best way to handle that.
Sure, okay. No, I saw that there's a stream in the front of it too, and in your, I guess, concept plan, the rough out, the back portion of the property you left vacant, correct?
Yes, and we have to do that because of we can only develop a certain amount of it. I can't remember if it's half. I can't remember exactly what that number is, but because we can only develop a certain amount of it for infrastructure purposes and economic numbers and finances, we were trying to stay on the front portion of the property.
Sure, okay.
So that's our goal.
Right, and I spoke with Dr. Snowden too about its proximity to Cooper Meadow Lane, and you have Beeler Road on the opposite side. and I shared with both of them that I've had a fender bender at Emory and Beeler several years ago. But Director Snowden didn't think there was any safety concerns because over 500 feet between the entrances and stuff. So I'm fine making a motion to approve the rezoning from agriculture to planned residential up to 4.3 dwelling units per acre.
All right, I've got a motion on the floor by Commissioner Thompson and a second by Commissioner Lee. Commissioner Hill?
Just, where are you coming up with rural conservation?
That was the current.
It says it's voted, it's.
The
currently
commission
ag.
approved planned residential, and that's what we were changing it to, but it still has to sit within the rural conservation overlay, I believe.
Because this is a new one. My apologies. We are straddling two different plans, and you are correct, since it is the, all right, thank you so much
no
for that.
problem.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Can I modify my motion?
You may.
Okay. I'd like to make the motion to rezone from agriculture to planned residential up to 4.3 dwelling units per acre, but with some vegetation. I just want to get it in there somewhere so that it is part of the conversation with some vegetative buffer of some kind on the east and west property lines.
And is the second agreeable to that? Okay. All right, so we have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Thompson, second by Commissioner Lee. Commissioner Jackson?
I was actually
I'm sorry.
just going to point over here because that's very vague.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think Director Snowden and I need maybe a little more direction than just some in terms of, thinking about how we would review their plan when it comes in, and then, of course, enforcement as well.
Could it be restated as determined during the concept review phase by engineering and planning?
I mean, yes, and you can also say appropriate buffer to the residences on either side as needed, or something along those lines. Does that work?
And do we have a definition of appropriate?
Yeah, no, we do not.
Okay, that's fine. Yes,
So trying to find
Yeah.
a black and white answer to this. If we did like a minimum 5 foot, and then it could be 10 or 15, or whatever was, but a minimum of 5, because vegetative buffers, I can't imagine any vegetative buffer being less than 5 feet. That would be for the, so if you just put it in there, then it's almost like a bookmark. So something has to be there.
Okay, so a minimum vegetated buffer.
A minimum 5 foot vegetative buffer.
Okay. What do you think, Jim? Yeah.
Okay. So our motion is Thompson, seconds Lee. Lee is good with the change on the, okay, just making sure. Minimum of the 5 foot vegetative buffer.
Commissioner Rawls.
Commissioner Rawls.
Commissioner Thompson, can you clarify the buffer on east and west?
Yes, on the east and west property lines.
Okay.
For neighboring residents, you wouldn't need to do it on the south side because that's.
Okay.
Yeah, they've left the north side is going to be left alone. The south side is Tazewell Pike, so you get the east and the west.
Okay. I just wanted us to clarify it since we're clarifying the spacing.
Okay. Everybody good? All right.
Yes, ma'am.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We've got one pass. Okay. All in favor? Aye. Pass. All opposed? Yes. All opposed? The ayes have it. Yes.
Okay, thank you. And while you're all sitting here, I know you want to go. Thank you for your public service. My wife's in public service. You sit in the line of, who knows what people say about you, and it takes a lot, takes thick skin, but I appreciate what you guys do. So thanks for your time.
Thank you. And thank you. Best of luck with your project, too. Number 6 has been deferred. We have no zoning appeals, no amendments to the zoning ordinance. No one is signed up to speak on public forum for open topics. Any other business? Commissioner Thompson, is your light, did you have anything to say, or are you still on?
I just wanted to point out what time it was.
Okay, good. No, yeah. Commissioner Durrett? Yes, thank you for pointing that out to Commissioner Jackson. I appreciate that. Commissioner Durrett?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted, since I will be out next week, I just wanted to remind everyone of the TCSA Fall Conference that is taking place here in Knox County. We are hosting, please come. It's Wednesday, October 6th through Friday, October 8th. Details should be in your emails, and happy to share any if you so choose. I don't know, I don't think the agenda has been posted yet. I have not gotten it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but it is, yeah. Commissioner Lee?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just would like to ask this commission to pray for the Charlie Kirk family, the terrible assassination of an American hero. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, seeing no other business before us, I wish you all a good evening, and we are adjourned.